Hello, my dragon mages in training. Today we're going to talk about dragon elementals. How exciting, right? So in the last lesson, we talked about the different kinds of dragons, and we learned that there are actually many different types of dragon elementals, not to mention just the different kinds of dragons in general, right? Well, today we're going to focus on the main elementals, which include earth, air, fire, water, and also light and darkness, which some may argue with me on that they're main elementals or not. But actually, as I've found in doing this work, light and darkness dragons are quite crucial for the ascension happening right now. So right now, for us going through this process, they are going to be very foundational. With that being said, let's just dive right on in. So first we got earth dragons, and just as you would expect, earth dragons often are found, in nature, in mountains, in forests, places like that. And what they look like, okay, remember my saying, right? Every dragon is different. So there are some that'll tell you that earth dragons have to look a specific way. Not necessarily. They can honestly look however, they want to look, but there do tend to be trends, if you will, in their appearances. And as such, it's kind of what you would expect for an earth dragon, earthy tones, right? Greens and browns and the like. But again, not exclusively. So don't be surprised if you see maybe a pink earth dragon. That's very possible. A really cool thing I've noticed about many earth dragons is their form tends to be less concrete, ironically, than others. A lot of times they just meld, they camouflage like chameleons in with their environment, and they will take on the characteristics of, the mountains they inhabit, or the trees, the bushes, or whatever, and it's really quite interesting. So I got notes here on their abilities just to keep me focused, so don't mind if I'm looking down. That's what I'm doing. Number one, grounding. Obviously, it's really self-explanatory. You really don't need me to tell you these things. I guess it's just further validation for what we innately know, right? But grounding, they will help you ground more than any other type of dragon. So you can invoke in an earth dragon if you're just feeling really anxious, if you're just up in the clouds, dissociation. That's something that I've always struggled with. Earth dragons will help bring you literally back to earth. And then from there, healing your physical body. If you have physical ailments of any kind, you can call in, that soothing, grounding presence of the earth dragons, and they will help to physically change, to heal, to restructure your body. And they can assist, with Reiki or plant medicines. They can help amplify the qualities of these healing modalities. Working with grid lines. So if you're an energy, grid line worker, if you don't know what that even means, that's okay. This isn't for you. You can just skip ahead. But yeah, working with grid lines, it's the energy of the planet, the ley lines and stuff like that. If you feel called to that work at this time, earth dragons got your back. They got your back. They were built for that. So you can rest assured that you will have many earth dragons supporting you and anchoring, that light into our planet. Gardening. If you got a green thumb, you probably got at least a few earth dragons around you, and they will help to allow, your plants to flourish. And they'll inspire you on the right kind of soil to use. I don't know. I'm not a gardener myself. I don't know. I'm not much of an earth dragon person, but if you're a gardener, you know what I'm talking about, right? Animal communication. This is something that I'm proficient in. It's something that I do regularly. If you were not aware, you can hit me up for animal communication services. But anyways, I digress. Animal communication, that's literally talking to animals. And just a brief memo on that. Animals, they mostly speak through telepathy, and we all have this innate ability to speak through telepathy, and we do so all the time with each other without consciously knowing it. But in any case, if you want to talk to animals, if you've got pets, if you're doing any sort of work with animals, like if you're racing horses or something, working on a farm, earth dragons are going to help to be sort of diplomats. They're going to ensure a smooth, communication, that there's harmony, that there's an equivalent exchange, that both parties are heard. Finally, I touched on this before, plant medicine. So if you are trying to, heal or do any sort of shamanic journeying or something with plants such as, ayahuasca or ceremonial cacao, or even just weed. Every run-of-the-mill weed. Your earth dragons, they got you. They'll help to ensure that the environment is safe. As long as, again, you're using this stuff intentionally, not as an escape. If you're using it to get a higher consciousness, the earth dragons will protect you and ensure that that happens, and they will open you up and allow you to be guided and taught by these plant medicines, because the plants themselves have a spirit, and those spirits are sentient, and they want to teach you things. So this is Haar. He is an earth dragon. He is my buddy, okay? When I mentioned in a previous unit how I write fantasy novels and I have these dragons that are associated with the elements, well, he is one of those dragons, and I will be introducing you to the other dragons as well, because guess what? They have all volunteered to work with you who are taking this course, to be like your dragon for that element if you don't have a dragon of that element, if you want to experiment, if you need assistance. So Haar's got your back here, and you can use this sketch of his to sort of act as an anchor, which we'll go into more later, and invoke his presence in meditation or whatever earthy thing you're doing where you need an earth dragon to got you. Haar's got your back, and there will be more. I will attach a PDF so you can, easily access his image, and I will go a little more into each of these 6 dragons that you can work with for the elements and their messages for you personally. So check out the PDF for that. For those of you in the course, I'm going to attach a PDF with their pictures and a little more about them. That should make it easier to invoke and work with them as you move throughout this process and continue on your draconic path. So this is actually lesson 4, 1.4, unit 1.4 of my How to Train Your Dragon Guide, the eCourse, for those of you who didn't know. So if you're interested in this topic, you're interested in learning more about the dragons I talked about today and stuff, I highly encourage you to check out the course in the link below. And if you're resonating with this concept and you like this stuff, give me a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I post new content. And let me know, so what do you suspect, which element do you suspect your dragon guide has, your main dragon guide? Likely it is going to be one of those 6, not always, but likely. And if you like the sketches and you would like a sketch of your personal dragon guide, I can of course assist you with doing that as well. Just check out my Meet Your Dragon Guide services, also in the link below. I'm also curious, since I'm sending my babies out into the world, which one of the 6 dragons are you most resonating with? Which one do you feel the most called to work with first? Again, I recommend working with all 6. That's why they've all volunteered, to give you that sort of balance, to help you experiment with the different elemental energies. But yeah, who are you feeling called to work with first and foremost? Until next time, friends, stay powerful.